Welcome to iTVLK.
Now it's time for iTVLK lessons.
This is a collaboration program with the Department of Education Central Province.
Bonjour, comment ça va? I'm Arundathi Jayasekara from St. Sylvester's College, Kandy. Today, I'm going to revise the lesson, Le Pronoms Personnels for you. I know by now you are really familiar with this topic. So, today I'm going to give you a help. I'm going to revise this for you. Le Pronoms Personnels. This topic is subdivided into few categories. First, I'm going to give you a small introduction of le pronom personnel. After that, I'll be discussing le pronom tonic. After that, I'm going to take le pronom on. Then I'll be taking le pronom e. Then we all can shift into the exercises on le pronom tonic, le pronom on, and le pronom e. First, I'm going to give you the introduction. Le pronom personnel. What is the meaning of le pronom personnel? Simply, le pronom personnel means pronouns. Children, why do we use pronouns? We use pronouns to replace a word. What type of a word? We use pronouns to replace a word already mentioned in a sentence. Or it can be sometimes a question also. So we use the pronoun personnel to replace a word already mentioned. Why do we do that? We use pronoun personnel to replace a word already mentioned to avoid repetition. To avoid repetition. So there are few things you should consider when you replace a word by using a pronoun. It is very important finding the grammatical function of the repeated word. What is the meaning of that? You should know the repeated word is whether it is a subject or whether it is an object. When it comes to objects, children, there are two. Okay, basically there are two. So sometimes this repeated word can be a direct object. Sometimes this repeated word can be an indirect object. Sometimes it can be all about a place. So before replacing the repeated word, you should know the grammatical function of that word. It is very important. Therefore, according to the grammatical function of the word, you should find the correct or the exact pronoun. To find the exact pronoun, you can use the following table. We'll look at the table now. Look at this table carefully. The first table gives you le pronom tonic. In the second column, you are given le pronom sujet. First column, le pronom tonic. Second column, le pronom sujet. Third column, le pronom avec le verbe pronomino. In the next column, you can see there are le pronom d'objet direct. Then you have le pronom d'objet indirect, and you have le pronom e next. Finally, you have le pronom en. Okay, look at the second column, le pronom sujet. You know, why do we use le pronom sujet? We use le pronom sujet to replace a subject of a sentence. We use, now look at the third column, le pronom avec le verbe pronomino. When we use pronominal verbs, when we conjugate those verbs, we use le pronom avec le verbe pronomino. We use me, the, se, nu, vu, sir with pronominal verbs. I think you can remember those things. And look at the fourth column. Le pronom d'objet direct. We use this column to replace a direct object of a sentence. And the next column, le pronom d'objet indirect. We use le pronom d'objet indirect to replace an indirect object. And we have pronoun e and pronoun on. And I didn't tell you anything about the pronoun tonic also. I didn't tell you anything about pronoun e also, pronoun on also. Today, I am going to discuss, I'm going to revise le pronoun tonic, le pronoun e, and le pronoun on. First, I'm going to revise the lesson le pronoun tonic. You know, the pronouns come under le pronoun tonic. They are moi, toi, lui, elle, nous, vous, eux, elle. Now we'll see why do we use le pronoun tonic. The first one, we can use le pronoun tonic before a subject of a sentence. Why? We can use le pronoun tonic before a subject of a sentence to insist. To insist. What is the meaning of insist? That means to emphasize on that. Look at the example. Moi, je m'appelle Anne. Moi, je m'appelle Anne. What is the subject of this sentence? Je. So the relevant pronoun tonic that goes with je is moi. So to insist, you can use moi, je m'appelle Anne. Children, you have to be careful when you use pronoun tonic before a subject of a sentence. To insist, you have to use the relevant pronoun tonic correctly. That means with je, you have to use moi. Look at the second example. Toi, tu t'appelles comment? Toi, tu t'appelles comment? The subject of this sentence is tu. So the relevant pronoun tonic is toi. Toi, tu t'appelles comment? Next one, vous aimez le français? With the subject pronoun vous, the pronoun tonic vous should be used. Next instance, look at number 2. You can use le pronoun tonic after a preposition. If you want to say, this is for you in French, you have to say, c'est pour toi. I have given that as the first example, c'est pour toi. Children, you should use pronoun tonic after the preposition. We never say c'est pour tu. We have to say c'est pour toi. Pour is a preposition. Look at the second example. Il est d'accord avec eux. He agrees with them. With them. With the preposition avec. After that, you have to use pronoun tonic. Look at the third example. Je vais chez lui. Chez lui. Chez is the preposition. After that, you have to use pronoun tonic. Now, I'm going to tell you another usage of pronoun tonic. Look at number 3. You all can remember the comparative form. Comparative form of adjectives. We use comparative form of adjectives to compare people or things. If you want to say, he is taller than me. After the word than, that means in French, to say than, we use que. So in comparative form, after the word que, if you want to say than me, than you, than him, you have to use pronoun tonic. Il est plus grand que moi. That is the first example. Il est plus grand que moi. What is the meaning? He is taller than me. Je suis moins grand que lui. Elle est aussi grande que moi. So, when you compare, okay, in comparative form, after the word que, you have to use pronoun tonic when you want to say than me, than you, than him, that ways. And the next usage. I think you all can remember the lesson representative. There, after say, between say and he, you have to use pronoun tonic. If you want to say, it's me who did this. It's me, it's you, it's them. So you have to say, c'est toi qui fais l'effort. That is the first example I have given you. So if you want to say it's you, you have to say c'est toi. It's not c'est tu. So in between say and qui, when you use presentative, you can use pronoun tonic. C'est moi, c'est toi, likewise. C'est lui. Okay. Then I'm going to give another usage of pronoun tonic. You can use pronoun tonic with the word si, and you can use pronoun tonic with nous, aussi, and non-plus also. I know by now you are really familiar with these four words: si, nous, aussi, and non-plus. If someone asks you a question like this, je parle anglais et toi? I speak English, and you? Then, if you also speak in English, you have to say moi aussi. Look at the answer. Moi aussi. You have to use the pronoun tonic to answer that. Moi aussi. If you want to give a positive answer to this question, you have to say moi aussi. If you are going to give a negative answer for this question, you have to say moi non. We never say je aussi. We never say je non. We have to use pronoun tonic to answer this question. Moi aussi, moi non. Look at the second example. Je ne parle pas anglais. Et toi? Now here, the question is in its negative form. Je ne parle pas anglais. Et toi? If the question is in negative form, you have to answer this question as moi si or moi non plus. If you want to answer this question in positive way, you have to say moi si. If you want to answer this question in negative way, you have to say moi non plus. So when you look at these answers, it's clear you have to use pronoun tonic with these answers. Moi aussi, moi non, moi si, moi non plus. Now look at number 6. Can you remember l'imperative form? That means order form in French. There, with positive form, instead of me and the, you have to use the pronoun tonic moi et toi. Look at the example. Regarde-moi. It is not regarde-me. You have to say regarde-moi. Second example. Donnez-le-moi. It is not donnez-le-me. Instead of me, you have to use moi. Instead of the, you have to use toi when you use l'imperative and its positive form. I think it's clear for you when to use le pronoun tonic. Now, we are going to look at le pronom on. Why do we use le pronom on? We use le pronom on when we replace a direct object which consists of un article indéfini, un article partitif, les nombres et les expressions de la quantité. We use le pronom personnel on when we replace a direct object which consists of indefinite article, partitive article, numbers, or quantity expressions. I'm going to give some examples. Look at the first one. If you have a direct object in your sentence and if it consists of an, in, they, one of those articles, an, in, they, there you can replace that direct object by using on. Look at the first example. Illi un roman. Illi qua, illi un roman. So that is the direct object. And you can clearly see this direct object consists of an article indéfini. So you can replace this direct object by using on. And dear children, you have to be very careful when you replace a direct object consists of an in there by using on. Because the first is you have to place the pronoun correctly. Look at the first example. Illi un roman. You can replace un roman by using on. And when you replace the direct object, you have to write the pronoun on after the before the conjugated verb. Because in the first sentence, the verb is in its simple form. That means present tense. Okay. If you use simple forms of verbs, that means present tense, future simple, l'imparfait. Okay. You have to replace pronoun on before the conjugated verb. So the answer is il, on, li, and I have given you an again. Why? I told you it is very important when you replace a direct object consists of an or in by using on. You have to repeat the quantity word an and in. You have to repeat the articles an or in. But if you use pronoun on to replace a direct object consists of the article they. Okay, the plural form, we never repeat that article, the plural form, after replacing the direct object by using pronoun on. Now we are going to shift into the second example. Look at B. If you have a direct object consists of article partitif in your sentence. Example, il boit du vin. Du vin. Du is an article, partitive article. We call it in French an article partitif. So to replace this direct object, you can use on. Just like the previous one, you have to replace pronoun on before the conjugated verb. Then you can write the sentence like this. Il emploie. Il emploie. Next one. If you have a direct object consists of numbers. If you have a direct object consists of numbers like un, the trois, quatre, likewise, a number 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so if you have such direct object, there again you can replace that by using pronoun on. But here also you have to be careful. After replacing the direct object by using on, you have to repeat the number. Look at the example. Tu lis 10 journaux. Tu lis 10 journaux. This is a number. So after replacing the direct object by using on, you have to repeat the number. You have to say tu en lis 10. I think it's clear for you. The next instance where you can use pronoun on is if you have a direct object in your sentence consists of an expression of quantity. What is the meaning of that? An expression of quantity. For example, beaucoup de, un peu de, un litre de, un kilo de, un verre de, une tasse de. Likewise, if you have an expression of quantity, there again you can replace that direct object by using pronoun on. And here also, when you replace the direct object by using pronoun on, you have to repeat the quantity. For example, il mange beaucoup de riz. Beaucoup de riz. So you can replace this direct object by using on. Il en mange beaucoup. I told you, after replacing the direct object by using on, you have to repeat the quantity. Here the quantity is beaucoup, so you have to repeat it. Il en mange beaucoup. And there is another instance where you can use pronoun on. Think that you have a sentence. The verb. After that, if you have the preposition the, and if you have quelque chose, that means something. Verb plus the plus quelque chose. There are some verbs in French like this. Can you remember? Parler de, s'occuper de, venir de, avoir besoin de, avoir envie de, what else? Rêver de. So there, after the verb, we use the preposition the. Then we add quelque chose. That means something. To replace the plus quelque chose, there you can use the pronoun on. Look at the example. Il parle de l'examen. Il parle de l'examen. Parle is the verb de plus quelque chose. L'examen, quelque chose. So here also you can use pronoun on to replace the l'examen. So you can say il en parle. Il en parle. Those are the instances where you can use le pronoun on. I think it is clear to you. Now we are going to look at le pronoun he. Children, why do we use the pronoun he? There are two instances where we can use pronoun he. We can use the pronoun e to replace a preposition plus a place. That means in your sentence, if you after the verb, if you have a preposition plus a place. Look at the example. Il habite à Kandy. A plus Kandy. A is a preposition, Kandy is a place. So to replace a Kandy, you can use the pronoun e. And just like the way you replace, just like the way you use pronoun e, here also you have to use pronoun e in front of the conjugated verb, because here also you have a simple tense, present tense. Okay, so you have to say il y habite. Il y habite. When you use pronoun e to replace a preposition plus a place, you have to be careful. If you have the preposition the plus a place, we never replace that by using pronoun e. So, children, except the preposition the, all the other prepositions plus a place, that phrase can be replaced by pronoun e. Look at the second example. Je vais à l'école. A plus a place. So you can replace this also by using pronoun e, because a is a preposition, l'école is a place. So you can say j'y vais, j'y vais. Next instance, where you can use the pronoun e. If you have a verb plus a plus quelque chose, can you remember these verbs? Penser à, participer à, réfléchir à, faire attention à. So there, after the verb, you have the preposition à. Then you have quelque chose. That means something. For example, il pense à son examen. Pense à son examen. Son examen means quelque chose, something. So to replace à son examen, we can use the pronoun e. You can use pronoun e. After that, you can replace à son examen by using e. Then the sentence is il y pense. Il y pense. That's how you should use le pronoun e. Now, dear children, I think you could understand how to use le pronom tonic, le pronom on, and le pronom e. Shall we shift into some exercises? Look at this. Here you have to use le pronom tonic. First one. There's a blank. After that you have the sentence Je ne comprends pas. Can you remember I told you we use pronoun tonic before a subject of a sentence to insist. So here also you can use moi, je ne comprends pas, because here the subject is je. Moi, je ne comprends pas. Look at the second one. Yes, I know, it is really easy for you. Here you have the subject il. Il travaille beaucoup. So what should be the answer? It should be lui. Lui, il travaille beaucoup. Third question. J'aime le cinéma. Et toi? Here you have a question. The question is in a positive form. J'aime le cinéma. And look at the answer given. Sito le cinema Italian. So you can understand the answer is also in the positive form. Sito le cinema Italian, especially Italian cinema. So you have to give the answer in positive way. J'aime le cinéma et toi? So you have to say moi aussi, surtout le cinéma italien. Get the fourth one, children. J'adore le café. Et toi? J'adore le café et toi? The given answer. Je bois toujours du thé. Now, the answer says, je bois toujours du thé. But the first person says, j'adore le café. So, there you have to give a negative answer. So, you have to say, moi non, je bois toujours du thé. Fifth question. Je n'aime pas le froid. Et toi? Look at the answer. J'adore le soleil. So, je n'aime pas le froid. That means I don't like the cold weather. And the answer also says, j'adore le soleil. There, you have to give a negative answer. But look at the question. The question is also in negative form. Je n'aime pas le froid. Then you have to say, moi non plus. Moi non plus. J'adore le soleil. Okay, you can try these questions again leisurely. Now we are going to look at some questions. There, you have to answer these questions, you have to use le pronom on. Look at the first example. Vous avez une voiture? If you want to give a positive answer for this, so when you give the answer, you have to use pronoun on. Vous avez une voiture. Une voiture. Yes, I know. You know how to answer this. We are going to replace une voiture by using on. Very good. Then you have to say oui, j'en ai. Yes, you have to say oui, j'en ai une, because you have to repeat the article une. Oui, j'en ai une. Next one. Vous mangez de la viande? Here also we are going to take pronoun on when we answer this question. Manger de la viande. You can say article partitive. Yes, you have to say oui, j'en mange. Next one. Il parle de son projet. Parle de quelque chose. Yes, children, you can use pronoun on here also. So you can say oui, il en parle. Next one. Elle a besoin de repos. Avoir besoin de quelque chose. You can replace that with on. So you can say oui, elle en a besoin. Next one. Il est fier du résultat. Être fier de quelque chose. Here also you can use pronoun on. You can say oui, il en est fier. Shall we look at some more questions? Yes. Here you have to use pronoun e to answer these questions. Elle habite à Paris. À Paris. Preposition plus place. Yes, you can replace à Paris by using pronoun e. as we have a simple tense here, you have to replace pronoun E before the conjugated verb. Very good. You have to say we, eli a bit, L-E a bit. Next one. Il pense à son pays. Penser à quelque chose. Il pense à son pays. So here also you can use pronoun E to replace à son pays. You can say oui, il y pense. Oui, il y pense. Next one. Elle participe à ce projet. Participer à quelque chose. Then we can write the answer like this. Oui, elle y participe. Next one. To réfléchir à sa position. Réfléchir à quelque chose. Oui, j'y réfléchis. Next one. Il va à la plage. Il va à la plage. À, that is the preposition. Preposition plus a place. So you can replace à la plage by using the pronoun y. So you can say oui, il y va. So, dear children, go through these questions, these exercises again. Then I think you can understand how to use le pronom tonic, le pronom e, le pronom on very well. Okay, and try to do some more exercises. Find some more exercises on pronoun tonic, pronoun e, and pronoun on, and do those. Thank you very much for joining with this lesson. Be safe.
Thank you for watching iTVLK. Innovate, inform, impact.